Ride slow. Pull up. Wind shear. Wind shear. Wind shear. Terrain. Up. Airspeed low. Sink rate. Pull up. Terrain. Pull up. Don't sink. Don't sink. Too low. Terrain. Too low. Gear. Too low. Flaps. Too low. Terrain. Ride slow. Bank angle. Bank angle. 100. 50. 30. 20. 10. 500.
Well, hello everyone. Welcome aboard. I don't know about you, but something really sounds loud here. Trying to pinpoint it right now. Hang on a second. I think I know what it is. Could be the external power unit. Okay, I think we got a little bit more under control. All right, folks, welcome to Flying with Mike. I wasn't expecting that, obviously. Like I said in the announcement to Discord, folks, that's open to everyone, by the way. Just if you hit the exclamation mark, the word Discord, as you see in the title block, it'll get you over there. We're kind of doing a little bit of a retro Wednesday as we cross the hump into the, well, for some of us, the run for the weekend. For the rest of y'all, well, heck, you just came off a weekend and you got a weekend ahead of you. Aren't you special? So, just simply special. But anyway, we're going back to XP11. I wanted to try out this scenery I got. I'm kind of a little bummed on it. Still not getting any more warm and fuzzies about it. But it's the Chicago reality or something to that effect. Just not 100% liking it like I did Atlanta. When I bought Atlanta, whoa, I like that. That was awesome, folks. This, is kind of a, well, So, but it's Midway Airport, folks. So, and the scenery that's out there for X-Plane 12, I can't find half the stuff they're talking I gotta have, so that's why I didn't go that route. Oh, forgive me for that yawn, folks. Yeah, came off shift, didn't get a lot of sleep, but then again, it was a no-flight Tuesday out at the airport, so there is some solace in that. So, but anyway, we're sitting on the ground. Now we're also retro. Aside from the fact we've rolled back to X-Plane 11 for this flight, we're also rolling back to the dawn of the jet age, the 727s, albeit maybe could be classified second generation because the 707, Comet, Cupid, Donner, and Blitzen would be first generation. Oh, just kidding. Couldn't resist, folks, when that came out. So, and for those of you that don't know what I'm referring to, shame on you. You'll know in about 6 months. So, we're going to go and give this 727 a whirl. We're also going to go back in time to U.S. Air. Before it became U.S. Airways, this is the airline that Piedmont, Allegheny, PSA, I know I'm forgetting one, doggone it, Piedmont. Anyway, came together, and this is what came out of it. U.S. Air. Eventually, like I said, U.S. Airways. And then eventually, well, we're not getting into the history. It upsets some people when I go into that. So I'm going to stay away from it. So, but yeah, U.S. Air is here. We're in the cockpit. We're getting ready to light these puppies off. Folks, by the first generation, aircraft still were very crew member needed. We'll say it that way. Crew member, you had to have them. Pilot, or I'm sorry, captain over here, your first officer over here. These, as I like to term, the pretty boys. You know, they get all the accolades from the passengers when they go off the plane, and they get to greet them, while the grunt, the GI, the man behind the curtain, if you look behind the curtain, he'll yell, "Don't look behind the curtain. He's the guy that makes it all happen, the flight engineer. He made that flight enjoyable for you because he controls not only the engines, the fuel, okay, right there is two very, very important things, but the pressurization, the temperature back there, the electricity, all of that stuff, hydraulics that get the plane to fly. He monitors, flips the switches, looks for problems before the pretty boys wake up and go, "Oh, look, we have a problem." So, just kidding, folks. All kidding aside, those two up front work kind of hard. No, they. Sorry. I do poke so much fun in these three people cabins. But here's the funny thing, folks. It took a village to fly the 727, what we can do with one person today. Um, just kidding. Sorry. Don't want to go down the road of politics. That will open up a nasty can of worms, and I won't be able to put that back in the bottle. But yeah, it did take three people to fly it, folks. And today in my sim, it's just me. So we got our passengers signing multiple non-disclosures if they don't like the flight. Poo-poo, tough on you. And I can hear you airline pilots go, "Gosh, I wish we could do that." So, without further ado, and I have to get a sip of coffee, up to the front we go. All right, so this is the captain's position. We'll do this. We're going to pre-flight this real quick so y'all got an idea, little idea of what the flight is going to be about today. And I kind of alluded to it. We are in Midway. coming out of Midway here, we're headed to Ronald Reagan National Airport. Yes, we're taking off from short runways. We're landing on a somewhat short runway, albeit they're 6,000 something feet out of Chicago. It's 7,000, and we'll get into that in a minute. They're in DC, and we're going to pray that we get to come in on runway 19 to shoot the river's arrival. It's always a fun run, folks. It's basically you follow the Potomac River right down, because on either side of it at a certain point, it's a no-fly zone land, meaning you ain't flying over those Capitol monuments, the White House as much as you'd like to, and the Pentagon. So you're flying this corridor, and then you make a turn for the runway. It's a fun approach. It's one of those that's not as crazy. You know, it sounds like, oh my God, we're going to do what, Muffet? Yeah, we're going to just kind of fly down the river. And at that second pine tree on the left, we're going to turn and hit the runway. No, just kidding. Actually, I don't think there's any pine trees along the route. There could be, but I don't think we'll see them at our speed. We are not going to be Piedmont 572. I made that up. We are USA 572. This makes it a lot easier on me, since Piedmont Virtual that I fly with doesn't have a route out of Midway to Reagan. I'll be honest, I don't think US Airways flew either out of O'Hare or Midway to Reagan. I think it was either Charlotte or Philly or Dayton. That probably would be the only way. But again, I'm just filling time, folks. So, with this here, we can actually pull up what the current ATIS is for Midway. If you would like to do that, go to this website. theatis.cloud.io. This is the page that will come up for you. Click Select Facility. This drop down opens up for you. And then search for your airport. Now, the key to this working for you, and I mean this kind of, follow me here. When you look at your approach charts, if it says where the ATIS frequency is D/ATIS, you can go to this site and see the real world ATIS in the US only, Puerto Rico and Alaska and Hawaii. I don't think you can get any further. Now, in the world, there are a whole bunch of D/ATISes. I just can't find the site to go to for them. Otherwise, it'd be down here too. But anyway, here's what's going on at Midway right now, real world, on the ground there. So the winds are 200, 8 knots, gusting to 17. We got about 10 miles of visibility and a ceiling at 6,000 feet. For Chicago terms, not a bad day. At least it's not snowing. Let's see. Here's your approaches in use. We're landing and departing 2-2. All right. So that right there, folks. If let's just say, hypothetically, we were flying from, say, California to Midway. Hope there's any real flights out there, but for argument's sake here, for the demonstration, you take off from that California airport, you get up to cruise, and you start wondering, what approach am I going to really shoot in there? Now, a warning ahead of time, FJS, I have run into, we on this channel have seen them go against what this ATIS says in the real world. Probably to help their friends out that are in the pattern, or they have no clue how to handle that approach. Hard to say, but it's possible. But anyway, I believe the former. They're helping their friends out in a stream and making it easy for them. So, but anyway, aside from all of that, usually the FJS controllers will follow this. May not see all the verbiage, but they'll follow this. but you'll get the meat and potatoes, which is the quick METAR, the RNAV runway 22 left, approach in use, landing, departing 22, and see, that's great. Only Chicago, folks. Oh, gosh. Oh, and Illinois has to claim that city. Oh, my gosh. Anyway, they should operate on mode C on all taxiways. From here up, most likely you would see if they came online with their ATIS. Like I said, there's those that that don't want to play. Anyway, so we're trying to stay positive today. It's Wednesday. It's hump day. So anyway, this is what this site is well known for, because look at this. I can go, I think DCA. Here's what's going on there. And they're going to be upsetting me. I hope that's not true when we get there. I really don't want to shoot runway 1. There's no fun in that approach. But again, if there's no controller, if there's no other traffic to conflict with us, we might sneak in on the 19. We'll see. Fingers crossed. All right, now from here. Oh, wait a minute. We'll come back to the charts in a minute. So real quick here. So we saw the METARs. Well, okay, they haven't updated yet. You saw 200 at 8 gusts to 16 and blah, 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 blah. This will be updating here real shortly. And DC, we didn't really pay in much. It's variable. That's why I'm hoping they play nice and give us 1.9 when we come in. If not, we'll shoot the 1. We'll play nice. Looks like they have some tower and cumulus in the area. So this, if the weather engines in a default state of any sim showed the weather, we would see them, but more than likely we won't. Even X-Plane 12, while we would see some looks of it, they're not geared to giving, because folks, when you start putting all of that in there, you know what that's doing? It's making those systems that aren't complete, that are up to spec, but they're on the lower end of that, and they bog down. So they try their hardest so that everyone can enjoy their product. Why not? You know, especially some of the sims that are up in the hundreds of dollars to buy. So there's our weather loadout for today. We've got 129 people wrapping up signing their non-disclosures. Payload of 29,670 pounds altogether, bags and peoples. And that'll bring us up to a 0 fuel weight. Before we add fuel to the plane, it would be 121,463 pounds. Now, once we add in the 25,587 pounds of fuel, that'll bring us up to this ramp weight of just over 147,000 pounds. Okay, cruise altitude today is flight level 350 at a cruise index, or what we're going to be doing is Mach 0.80. They did not have cost indexes with these aircraft, so they just put them to their cruise and boom, off they went. All right, and then finally, we'll just show off a little bit here. NavGraph, folks, this is a phenomenal product if you fly abroad from the United States. If you just stay in the United States, don't leave our borders, or just fly Alaska or just fly Hawaii. How boring. Those have been great states, but boring if that's all you fly. Hey, power to you. People love it. You're fine with SkyVector. It's free, no problem. But if, say, you want to fly Mexico, South America, maybe you want to hop the pond to Europe. Finding charts for these people can be very difficult. So, charts, NavGraph charts, gives you, for that subscription fee, all the charts out there, folks. So if you want to fly to El Alto, they have charts for them. The Real Jebsen charts for them. You want to fly in Africa or Europe or any part of Asia, you will find that airport's charts if they're out there. I said it, there is a fee, it is a subscription. If you're like most pilots that want their FMCs up to date, so when they look for a flight plan, that flight plan will load into it because things change monthly. You can tag it on with NavGraph, so that helps a lot. Now, Charts 8 came out a couple months ago, and in the release they said a weather overlay was coming. Didn't say when. Took several months, but they have released it. Now, here's what it looks like. Yeah, I'm teasing y'all. The United States is really not a good place to show it off right now because there really isn't a lot of stuff going on here on this July 5th. But you can now see the weather here. So, hey, you know what, Muffy? I think we just might head out here towards Salina and Wichita. Looks like we could have a little bit of weather, or maybe Springfield over. You got that to help you in planning. But it's something nice, Europe and the rest, while they're there, it all depends if they have radars and that their radar systems are tuned into whatever NavGraph uses to pick up the weather information from them. So you can see Europe has some up here, nice low pressure spinning up here over Denmark, heading into Sweden and Finland. So anyway, it's a nice little tool that you can pull up just to see, hey, again, let's go back to our California to Midway. Oh my God, is there any weather between here and there? Now you can at least look and see, maybe. Okay, boring flight. Just kidding. I love those. All right, but let me first get rid of the flight we did last time so it doesn't confuse us. All right, however, now let's get into this flight. Okay, again, we're going from here roughly to here. All you got to do is click Import Flight, Import Sim Brief, and pull up the latest and greatest time-wise. It'll be this one because I made the change. All right, and there it is. The route is put on here. Now, I have it set to VFR just because I like to see what I'm flying over. Because literally, folks, most of us in the airline world, we're flyover. We fly over everything. You have to fly VFR below 10,000 feet to see anything down there. So think about that when you're buying stuff out there. You're not going to fly VFR. Anyway, so here's our route. Now, you're all going, well, didn't they have VOR and INS? Yeah, I'm running with an FMC. It's a whole litany of reasons why, but basically, a long time ago, probably, when Century of Flight came out. So those of you guys of the Sims know that was one of Microsoft's best systems out there. Well, totally lost my train. Anyway, I got the INS for SIVA for a 747 that had released. Loved it. Had a blast. And even enjoyed the extra 40 minutes that goes into any flight because of getting it ready on top of the plane. Until one day, I don't know if I shut it off wrong, if I had to leave abruptly, killed the sim, which killed it somehow, came up with an error code in the INSs. I could never get cleared. I reinstalled them. I did everything. Would not go away. It got me so flustered, I said, you're gone. I was upset now that I had spent whatever that money was on it way back when. And that is why I will not even dabble in them again. It was, I mean, you just couldn't clear this. It was, and I even asked a whole bunch of, I just got fed up with it. Then an FMC program came along that I could use in any airplane. Out the door the SIVA went forever, and FMC from then on. So that is why. So I don't mind putting these in. Matter of fact, we're already loaded. But we're going to be flying out of Midway. There is a departure to Lewicki. We'll read it when we get to that point. It's just not loaded. Because technically, I may not want to just fly the Midway departure. I may just decide to go direct. I don't know. DC, we've got the Nummy, I like that name, Nummy 3 arrival off of Bucko. And we're hoping to shoot the 1.9s. That's why I haven't got an approach. So there is what it looks like for now. We'll be back to it shortly. So let's get going, shall we? We've spent way too much time here BSing about things. It's time to get down to business. These people signed their NDAs and they want to get to DC to sign their next set of NDAs that, oh my God, my congressman did what? Oh yeah, now you can't talk about it. All right, so away with you, Sim Toolkit. All right, so like I said, we've got everything ready to go. Let me just set this to 400. All right, we're ready to go here. The only thing we have left to do, besides make sure all the peeps are aboard, check our signs, and get our window heat going. So we'll do that right now. Signs are all on. Window heat, all right, here, on. And I need to come on FatSim. Hopefully. ATC's not on and ready to berate me. All right, so we're now connected to FatSim. So feel free, folks, pick a plane, come on out of here or anywhere along our way. A lot of great airports to depart from. Coming on down the checklist, oil, hydraulic pumps. A is off, B is on. And oil cooler set, pressurization set, gas per fans on, APU bleeds on, auto brake. We got to go back up top for that. We'll put it into reject. And takeoff warning horn. Folks, if you've ever wondered when you see that in a checklist, it is basically move your throttles. That horn tells you you've got something not set right. Abort and figure it out. Okay, a navcom and altitude. All right, so real quick, let me just that up again. All right. Oh, it's not even going to put it down in my charts. Well, la-di-da-da to them, too. Do I like Cicero? Probably no different than Midway. Just a different picture. Everything's the same. All right. That's pretty much it. Just a different picture. Wow. Sometimes, you know, if you really pay attention to these things, folks, it's kind of weird. Oh, that's so 227. Okay. All right. Now here's the fun. All we can basically do here, well, actually on this one, I take that back. We can actually set, if you want to help you out, set 227. That is runway heading off here. Let me just make sure Midway will not be upset with me if I choose differently. No. Okay, so what you've done is you've set the needle here to 227. So when you bring the bug around, that the heading will line up to. Look at that. Now I'm at 227, and it didn't tell me that up there. Isn't that a neat little trick? All right, and then we'll get down here to do our frequencies. All right, so we're going to Gipper 115.4. All right, I'm trying to figure this out. Okay, I think that's how we're going to do it. So 22 left is 227, 1.5, then continue to 1,300 feet. Okay, works for me. All right, and for now, that's all we're going to be able to put in. I don't think we even have... No, we don't have anything till we get down to Bel Air at 1710. Wow. Now, one trick with this airplane also, folks, it's kind of weird. I really would love to know if the real plane did this or not. Now, we have nav 1 and nav 2. You're going, well, why would you set both frequencies?
Midway traffic, this is Southwest 135.8, passing to Elongate.
DME 2 is here. This is nav or DME 1. So that's why. That way you can see your distances. Okay. And with that, we are, only thing I have not set, do that, 3,000. Okay. Got it set to 400. Go ahead and set this to 400 as well. All right. That pretty much, folks, gets us ready to go. Parking brake set, aileron set, zero fuel set. Let's load the plane real quick. All right, so you've got these menus here. The airplane is your weight and balance. So we are going out, we said, with 129 souls. So you're looking, where are they? Right there. You want to make that. So what you do is find packs, hit the R, random. Get as close as you can. That's pretty good. And here is your CG. So you can put them where you want. I like to load up first class, you know. Those returning to the kingdom of DC, you know, have to go first class. All right, so you can see us now getting a little nose, pushing down on the nose, but we're still well within the limits. Our zero fuel weight for the flight is 121. I think we got cargo on here. No, we don't. How the heck? That is a first here, folks. We've got a zero fuel weight with 129 peeps. Interesting. Well, we're going to take off some peeps. Oh, not that many. Okay, just trying to get it close. I don't even know if we're going to get that close. Wow. I'll be honest, that is the first time I've actually run heavy, way over on my zero fuel weight with that passenger load.
Fire traffic, United 586 going to be pushing back from Charlie 20.
I'm loading it back up. Okay, we're just going to go with it. You know, that's what we're going to have to do. That's 129 people. Payload 29,670, right on the numbers here for our payload. Why the zero fuel weight calculated out wrong? Empty weight. Oh, there it is, right there. Empty weight is way off. Okay, there we go. It is 7,000 pounds, 6,000 pounds heavier, which attributes all of this. Okay, we're good to go. All right, so now fuel. We said 25,587. We are currently 25,010. So I'm just going to do it from here. Get us as close, 25,510. Let's go to 26,000. Yeah, we'll go with that. Gives us an optimum altitude of 34,000. We do not have cargo planned for this run, so we're good there. We have the aircraft loaded. Wow, I'm going to have to go in there and make changes to that airplane in sim brief. Okay, next up, we are now the next one is your options. You can see all the neat things you can do with it. GPU is on, air cart's on. Here is the maintenance and failure system on the plane. It's kind of, you know, our engine 2 is good, fair on everything else, like new on 3. So we'll see how things play out. If something's broke, it'll tell you right here. You can fix it. Maybe. Or you can turn it off. It's up to you. But finally, here's a checklist. We'll be using that here shortly. And then here is a performance calculation tool. The only thing it's lacking is how much runway you need. Important here, most airports not. Really, a lot of airports went to 10,000 foot runways because of this plane. Hot summer days, whew. So we're going to see how she does up here. But we're going to go flaps 20, 123, 123, 135. I'm going to go ahead and start firing up Mac Air. I want to get credit for this flight because I don't fly it enough over on them, the 727. While it is booting up, what we'll do is we'll get the trim at 5.59. It's very easy in this plane. And our dump time, if we needed to dump fuel, is 1:32 seconds to get back. EPR is 204. That's your top gauge here. That will automatically set at the same time when we do it. Oh wait, it'll do it right now. See where it says set bugs? It'll allow you to set your bugs so you can get your speeds. We're clean at 200, 123, 123, 135. All right. It's going to come quick on this runway, folks, so it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. And then we can also do the same on the landing. All right. Okay, flight doors closed. Welcome aboard U.S. Air Flight 572, folks. Service to Ronald Reagan National Airport in our nation's capital. Look to have a fine flight. We'll be pushing back here shortly. Please pay attention to your stewardesses, for they are here for your safety. Flight attendants, prepare for pushback. All right, with that, did I miss anything? Okay, we are ready indeed to go. All right, we are going to do a power back, folks. This is how these aircraft of the day got out of the gate, and we're going to follow suit. Just finishing up Mac Air here.
Traffic, November 64, Titan Romeo, bearing 58, be in the field to the west. We play at 20 right, we're midfield downwind, deep gauge traffic.
All right, we got that running, and I mean, we're going to have some fun, it looks like here. All right, let's get rid of that jetway. Okay. Beacon on. Just want to check in the Midway area. All right. Well, we got a little bit of rain we'll go through. It looks like between Chicago and Gary. Plus it's false returns. Beacons are on. All right, let's get the APU up and running. Okay, batteries on. APU's coming on. Stall warning check. We'll do that in a second. Okay. Emergency lights, passenger signs, window heat, radar transponders are set. Parking brake. Just waiting on the APU.
Midway traffic, Twin Cessna 0 Bravo Delta is approximately 10 nautical miles northwest of the field. We'll be doing a...
Think before you talk.
We're going to overfly the field from the northwest, entering a left downwind for 22 left. Midway.
All right, so APU start, hold, and waiting. Coming on up to the side. Oh, sorry. Okay, generators on. Okay, we need to come over to APU. And then before starts, beacons on, galley power off. Packs off. Lead pressure's up over 30, and we're set and ready to go. All right, so to start this thing up, folks, what we're going to do is we'll start number 3. And what we got to see is a start valve open, which we do. Drop down. Watching N2 to get to 20, which it's at right now. Fuel on. And once it's stabilizing down, you'll get this light here for low oil pressure off. And then we're just going to wait for it to stabilize, and then we'll start up number 1. This was a typical way for aircraft to push back in the day before all the high-tech pushback tugs and all of that. So they would just simply power back. Now in the age of we have to save fuel, they push them back by tug. It was actually believed they did less damage on the nose gear by doing this, but you run the risk of a tail strike. On. If you use your brakes to stop instead of thrust, you run the risk of the tail coming down. But yeah, routinely the aircraft would power back. Also in places like St. Louis, probably Midway fell into the same thing. You couldn't put a tug in front of them. In the D, for St. Louis specifically, the D concourse, good luck putting a tug in front of a plane. Okay, good start. Last, number 2. Okay. Kick that over. Good. And as you can imagine, it's very easy.
Midway traffic, Twin Cessna, 0 Bravo Delta is overflying the field, entering a left downwind for 22 left, Midway.
Okay, we're past 20. Now, engines in these aircraft, folks, it's 1 on the left, 2 in the middle, 3 on the right. Always, by the way, the pilot is looking out. So 1's on his left, 3 is on his right. 2 is in the middle on this one. All right, so we're all fired up. Let's go over here and get the electrics going. Okay. And galley power number 2 on.
Midway traffic, Twin Cessna, 0 Bravo Delta, making left base, 22 left, Midway.
Oh, there's a day in FJS I wish we'd go back to, but we'll keep quiet on that. All right, so we are ready to power back. Let's run the final checks. Anti-ice pitot heat, we'll go ahead and have that all on, ready for our taxi, because I think it may not be as far as...
Midway traffic, Twin Cessna, 0 Bravo Delta, turning final, 22 left, Midway.
Flight instruments are set. We'll check flight control, speed brakes. Down flaps, now going into position. Okay, controls, left. Okay, and then forward. You can see the gauge right here for the aileron and rudder, oh, I'm sorry, elevator and rudder doesn't have an aileron gauge, and I don't know why. Now, I can already tell you before I do the rudders, I forgot to do something. A couple things, actually. Get the fuel pumps on. Okay, and get system A on. Now, how did I know it was off before checking? There's 2 ways to find out. 3. Check the panel here. Or up here, this is your hydraulic status. This is the B system, this is the A system. If they're lit up, they're not working. Final way to know, when you're checking, your rudder is right here, these 2 arrows right here. I had a feeling. There we go, right there. Okay, you're going to see them both move. If only one of those arrows move, one of your systems is still off. Okay. And galley power's on, electrics, fuel heat's off, hydraulics. Okay, we are ready for power back. Now, what I'm going to do here, folks, basically, we're going to power back and kind of angle in this direction, and then we'll take this line out. Okay. Now, I thought about heading over to this one because there's numbers on it. But there's one there too, so basically we'll push back with the nose facing.
Order traffic United 586 lining up runway 22 left for departure.
So, all right. So here we go. Power and back. Brakes off. We'll do it from. Hang on a second. Let me hit the right key. Okay, you can kind of hear it, and then all you got to do is throttle up. You may need to go significant. And what you're doing is just looking for it to start going backwards. Like everybody in Chicago trying to race those big old trucks and now planes. Out reverse. Thrust will be our brake. Okay, and we're ready to taxi. Let's get our taxi light on. Turn offs, and here we go. Okay, so we'll come out here to Tango, Papa Yankee to Yankee 7. Okay, now I said it was easy to set your trim. It is. All you do is click the green bar and boom, it's set. Setting the speed bug, set your EPR bug. So you're ready for takeoff, literally, folks, now. Flight attendants, take your seats for departure. There you got a nice shot of the Chicago skyline in the distance there, folks. Pretty typical Chicago day, minus it's not snowing. All right, final checks here, folks. All right, anti-ice pitot heat we have on. We're going to go ahead, keep the anti-ice off. Flight controls check, speed brakes down, stape trim set, flap set 20, galley power on, fuel, maintenance. All right, we're, like I said, ready to go. Now, one thing to get used to, folks, transponder's in the top. Okay, it's up top, not where you're used to it. So it's not down here. It's up here. And you know what, folks? I just realized I have been remiss and not mentioned it once, but it's Viewer Appreciation Month here at Flying with Mike. We are getting ready, well, we are into our second scheduled flight of the month. We are trying to fly to, well, basically vacation destinations. And for the whole month. Because month of July is that, a month of vacationing. Most people, not all, but a lot, take their vacations, believe it or not, this month. And in August, they trail off. Why? Because kids are back in school. So, well, let's go ahead and bring it in here to a quick stop. So, we're having Viewer Appreciation Month. Now, I am remiss, and I did not get up there this command, folks. Exclamation mark ticket. Now, I haven't tested it yet, so that's probably why I didn't do it. The stream time came up too quick, and I didn't get a chance to test it. What I'm going to do, for everyone that enters, each flight will allow one entry from you, and we are going to award at the end of the month a $20 gift card. I'm going to try to make it open for anything, but I may have to make it for FlyJSim only. You'll pick whichever sim you're using. I won't be mean and make it only X-Plane or make it only Microsoft. It will be something you can use across the board. So that's my game plan. So hurry, folks. You know, here, let me just give it a try. It should be working. If I could spell. If only I could spell. Spaceman, what's up? Too many tickets. All right. Well, it looks like it's working. Welcome aboard. We're going to be doing a 727 flight into Reagan National. All right, hang on a second, folks. And Midway traffic, US Air 572 departing, 22 left. All right, Spaceman's in the running for it. So, but that's my way of saying thank you, because folks, middle of the month, June 15th, we are going to fly to Narita. And that is as close as I can get to when we actually became an affiliate, but it's not me, it was you, the viewers, that had made that happen. I'm just the weird nut behind the wheel here that tries to drive this thing. All right, we are on the runway. I think I'm going to do a stop here. Lights. Here we go. Probably should have killed the packs. Here we go, folks.
B1, rotate.
Up, up, and away.
Gear up.
Okay, gears up.
Neighbor Air Club traffic, Twin Systems, Air Bravo Delta, approximately 7 nautical miles east of the field. Inbound to land, runway 18, entering on a left base. Air Club.
Alright, we'll do our left turn out here. Alright, we're just gonna basically come a beam of the airport here, folks. Kind of fly a downwind out and go direct Kipper. Alright, here we go. Autopilot's gonna first. Let's get this set to 09. Right there.
Neighbor Air Club traffic, Twin Systems, Air Bravo Delta, turning final runway 18, Air Club.
Hey, come on, airplane. Okay, we're going to go to the FMC because I know we're drifting. Okay, we're on GPS, INS. Okay, and
Neighbor Air Club traffic, Twin Systems, Air Bravo Delta, missed approach, straight left crosswind, runway 18, Air Club.
sorry folks, till we get him off the air, it's very hard to talk at the same time. I'm going to do some things as well.
Air Club traffic, Twin Systems, Air Bravo Delta, turning left crosswind, runway 18, Air Club.
Okay, I'm going to do it quicker. I'm just about had it with him. All right, hopefully we don't get ATC. There, that'll help make things a little more bearable for the rest of us. Okay, all right, so we're into our climb. Ooh, going to be working hard to get back down to 280. All right, so we're climbing out, folks. It's been a great run out of Midway. There's the clouds we're getting above, and off we go to Gipper. Looks like about 49 miles out. Do I have it on the right one? Yes. All right, so we're direct Gipper. We're on our way. We've got about an hour and 15 to go. Hopefully we'll get things a little better. Folks, Midway is short runways, but when you're check my Discord. Why am I checking my Discord? Hang on. General. Very nice, Mr. Spaceman. We have an F-14A Tomcat. Very, very cool. So you have that parked in the backyard? Very cool. Congrats, sir. All right, we're through 18,000. Unfortunately, the altimeter setting here, folks, was 2992. I don't have to set anything. That came off a movie star. Yep. Hello, Melvin Leroy. Welcome in. Oh, nice. In the MD-11. Cool. Cool. Very nice flight there, Mr. Melvin. So, oh yes, I love Jag. That was a good show. The F-14A is also a very famous aircraft too.
Southwest 376 is 15 miles from Nurma for the ILS runway 27 left approach.
Hang on a second.
Okay, traffic.
Oops. All right. Yes. Well, yes, it was in Top Gun, and it was also very prone to the spin you saw in the movie. It took them doing quite a bit of work on the engines and all to get it to quit doing that. So, but yes, it was in Top Gun, and yes, so did Mr. Harm fly it. Lieutenant JG, I believe it was. No. Yeah, JG. Anyway, I don't know the Navy. You don't think I understand what you're saying. Uh-oh. He triggered something. So, but anyway, folks, we're climbing out. Welcome in, Melvin. I hope you enjoy the MD-11 that I so affectionately sometimes call the Trash 11. But I'll tell you, cargo companies really love that plane. Airlines, not so much. But the cargo companies really, I guess it's the amount of stuff they can stuff into it and the range they can still get out of it. All right, hang on a second. Let me see what happened here. Let me see what happened. Ah, from that specific Tomcat. Gotcha. Yeah, but oh, so you got it out of the ocean? Ah, that is awesome, spaceman. Very awesome. Shouldn't have been dog tags that said goose. Sorry, folks. Very bad, very poor taste. Sorry. All right, well, let me get back here into cockpit and see where we're and what we're doing. And yes, folks, I have turned FatSim down, so it's a little easier to chat with people out here. I could go into a lot. Very nice. So yeah, you know, I've said this a million times with you, spaceman. One of the big things that came out of Top Gun that I really loved was to hear Tom Cruise whine that he wasn't the star of the show. It was the F-14. It upstaged him. He was just so upset at that. Movie stars. Didn't hear that out of that Tomcat. Uh-oh. What the heck? We actually got a fire. I gotta see this. I've actually never had this happen on here, folks. I'll be doggone. Well, first thing we gotta do is pop the bottle. Well, it should have shut the engine down by pulling the bottle. All right, we're going to have to level off at all right, well, let's see what we got around us, folks. Looks like we're going to make an emergency landing. Guys getting a little bit more bang for your buck here today. We're over Gipper. Let's see, we're going to go ahead, go back here. South Bend is probably going to turn back for Elkhart, or not Elkhart, South Bend. Hey, we got the fire to go out. Man, this just turned into a fun ride. And what airport that might be right there. All right, let's make 275. Call it 270. While we get down here. KSBN. Let's first see what we have. Oh, good. We have a 27 runway. Perfect. Okay, we do have limited hydraulics as well, I noticed on the panel when I looked. Well, folks, shorten flight. Basically, I'm going to use GIG to get back and get set up for this. That, folks, by the way, was not planned. Southbound traffic, US Air 572, declaring an emergency. We had an engine fire, it's out. We'll be landing runway 27 left. chart for South Bend. Give me an approach, 427, that'll work. Oh, it even has an ILS, how about that? 1093. Okay, we've lost one of our ADIs. That's really nice. Try something here. See if that brings it back. It did. Alright, so we're gonna have to overfly at least one time. Actually, we're just gonna
10,000 feet.
get into a
10,000
hold.
feet.
As we try to get some altitude shaved off. Hope you're enjoying this, folks. We're shooting an emergency landing in South Bend. This is all unscheduled, folks. I was hoping to make it to Reagan.
10,000 feet.
Just bleeding speed and altitude now. Need to come down to 2,400 feet.
Bank angle, bank angle.
Okay, just get this girl to slow down now. On 274, I'm on 90. Okay, we finally got some speed control on it. And I am going to go ahead and see what we're going to line up at coming around. Okay, we might even be heavy, but... Okay, 132, okay. Right, how far off were we on that comeback around? Okay, not too bad. Okay, folks, that ahead of us is not the airport, just to let you know. Now we need to get speed under control. South Bend traffic, US Air 572, approximately 15 miles east inbound. We had an engine fire. Roll the trucks, please, for precaution, and we'll vacate the runway on landing. I bet y'all didn't know you were going to sign up for an in-flight emergency. Neither did I. They don't descend lower than
2,500.
Still don't see the runway, but that's okay. Oh, wait, I think I might have it in the distance. Oh, looks like we're not getting slats. Okay. Everything's on. No, we're just not getting indication. Okay.
1,000.
Flight slow. Flight slow. Flight slow. Flight slow. Flight slow. Flight slow.
Bring setup to 3. I don't know how much runway we have. But it's... Are you serious? Going to crash the desktop? Oh no, it paused. That's weird. Like, no, I'm too close. Okay, let's start easing her down.
Flight slow. Flight slow. Flight slow. Flight slow. Flight slow.
South Bend traffic, US Air 572. We're 3-mile final, 27 left. Number 1 engine out due to fire.
Five hundred.
Minimum.
400.
Landing.
300.
Flight slow.
200.
Flight slow. 100.
100.
50.
50. 40.
30.
30.
20.
20. 10.
V1.
I think we're going off the end. Hi, folks. Well, that kind of stunk in many ways. Let's see. Wouldn't go into reverse when I landed, so half our flaps didn't come down. Boy, that was a good emergency, folks, that I did not plan for. Alright, well, let's take a look at it, folks. Yeah, I know the message came up, said wasted. A lot of things I gotta do on this flight. Hang on. Actually, did I pop a tire too? Nope. Alright, while they do a quick check of the airplane. Okay, I think everything else is fine. We're good to taxi to the ramp. Cool. And South Bend traffic, US Air 572's off 27 left to the terminal. Alright folks, well, the intended destination will not be made today. So, we'll see what kind of time we have when we get to the South Bend terminal. So again, hope y'all enjoy. Exclamation mark tickets for a ticket in a raffle. We're giving away a gift card. Probably the end of the month. I haven't really talked it over yet with the CEO to see if we could do two, but for sure the end of the month. So exclamation tickets will get you into the running for that. Basically, I'll write your name down and the our granddaughter will select it. So, speaking of the CEO, I will be right back. She is texting me. We must have a thunderstorm moving in, folks. My wife was enjoying her holiday, and maybe that's what God was saying. Mike, you need to get on the ground. This is going to be a storm that may take your power out. So we'll get in here, park here, and shut things down. We'll go through and figure out what all... I don't know what caused the engine fire, folks. All I do know, we had one. That's the first one I've ever had flying. And that's one of the many reasons I don't fly with the failures on, is most of the time I only know the very basics. Like if it's an engine fire, pop the bottles, although I don't really know how to trigger everything in these simulated aircraft. So that is where I end up with trouble. But we'll see here what we got moving in and all of that good stuff here. Let's get those brakes set. Let's check our flaps. They're still coming up. All right, folks. Yeah, well, that was interesting, wasn't it? Oh, hang on. We'll do that in a second. I'm going to go ahead for safety. Keep the APU turned off. Let's take a look at our report maintenance system here. Doesn't say anything here. Let's see. Flap jammed, outer left, repair, flap jam, outer right, request engine maintenance. You think? Engine 1 failure. You think? Replace? We're here on the ground, South Bend, for a little bit, folks. Oh, hey folks, it was fun, wasn't it? Short that I didn't realize. So, all right, got the carts and all on. Let's check back here. All right, we're going to go to external power. Okay, the air cart is on. We're going to go ahead and shut the engines down. There you go, folks. Unscheduled emergency landing in Midway. Gotta love it. I'm sorry, South Bend. Just getting everything tuned out. All right. Okay, folks. Well, that just did not go the way we planned. I'm going to go ahead and disconnect from FJS. Oh, wow. That just did not go as planned one bit. So much for Reagan Airport today. Oh, I did that again. Getting the jetway out to us. All right, folks. Well, interesting flight, to say the least. Cut short by quite a bit. Hang on a second. I'm just getting caught up here. We'll get the overlay out of the way. All right, let's bring in Sim Toolkit. Let's see what little nuggets we learn on this hard landing. And actually, I have never done a divert in Mac Air. That'll be my next thing. All right, folks, there we are. Do a little teaching here. Okay, so once we knew we had the problem, we're gonna have to divert to South Bend or an airport nearby. The easiest ways to determine that, folks, actually comes into play with SkyVector. Now I have it on another screen, but if you just do this, put KMDW in our case, KDCA. Okay, the emergency occurred right in here. Potential lightning. I don't think I saw anything that could have. So when I got past here, here's what I began looking at. Engine fire, engine fire's out. Okay, we got a little bit of time now. Not a lot of wiggle room. We're going to level off like we did, or try to. Obviously Detroit. South Bend, which I chose right here because we had just passed. We also had Fort Wayne. Which one's this? We wouldn't have been able to do that one or that one. Or turn back. Look at that. Midway is now IFR. Not a good idea. What about O'Hare? Not a good idea. So, I think we chose rightly with coming to South Bend. Even though there's storms just to the north, by us turning back, doing that quick hold to get down, got us there and in one piece. It is a facility with aircraft rescue firefighting on it, so that's good. Definitely want that when you've had an engine fire. So that's how I did this, folks, is with SkyVector. Now, let me put our route up here so you can then see how it looked. Hang on a second. Bear with me, I'm just getting the route. Oh, where did it go? There it is. Oop. All right, so there was what we were planning. Lewicki, GIG, and then on to Othens and so forth. Okay, so between here and here is where actually between here and here is where the fire happened. I'm assuming right over here. Okay, we leveled off and we did our turn back to South Bend. Midway would have been an option, Joliet and so forth, but you got to go through thunderstorms. So I think we chose a good airport in South Bend. Okay, now with charts, this is what's really nice. Now on the plane, all they got to do, either they got an EFB, like technically we do, you could look it up there, or you pull out your flip charts and you find South Bend and all the information you need. For us, we just go to NavGraph. Let me just do exactly what I did. Okay, here's our routing again, folks. Again, I said it was right in here. I went to airports, then clicked airports up here, entered South Bend, SBN, and that brought this up. This icon is the charts. So now you can see the chart. So I quickly pulled this one. What runways do we have? 18's acceptable. 27's acceptable. So we went with 27. And I don't even know what winds were. But anyway, that's why we chose South Bend. Again, I had no intentions of a fire. I had nothing programmed into this flight for failure. It failed itself. So those of you that like that, welcome to the 727. Here, let me give you a link to it real quick, because I do know some of you love this aircraft to death. So X-Plane, go to the store, look for it under XP11. It's not a 12 yet, and you'll be able to get it there, folks. FlyJSim has a really good, this is the first all-out, I had an emergency deal with the plane. Hawker 125 is not with us right now, but I'd say I've had the aircraft for a year and a half, and this is the first aircraft engine emergency I've had. So you can turn it off or you can keep it on. So we're going to go ahead and do the fixes for the next flight. So, okay, that took care of them. And that's it. Now we're technically good and ready to fly on to DC. I am going to go ahead and end the stream here, folks. Let me do a quick look back to see if I missed anyone. Because basically what I'm doing, folks, is writing your name down. Like I said, Spaceman, I've got your ticket. So you're in the running. And folks, every stream, you're allowed to put your name in the hat. Matter of fact, I have it from the last time, believe it or not. So I'm putting you guys in it too, because out of my control, I was not able to award that. Hang on, I know I have it. Anyway. Oh, there we go. So yeah, I've got your entries from the last time. I'm going to go ahead and forward that in. And like I said, we're going to put it in a hat at the, for sure, end of the month. We're going to let the grandbaby, if she's here that day, pull the ticket out. It doesn't, you don't have to be here for that flight, folks. And we'll get a hold of you somehow via whisper or whatever to get your award out to you, which will be worst case scenario. You know, that kind of sounds bad what I'm getting ready to say. A subscription to Flying with Mike. Or Well, my hope is a $20 gift card. I don't know how all of that works with overseas and all of that. So, but for sure, subscription either to this one or to a channel you want. Just let me know. But for now, I'm going with we're going to be able to do a gift card. I'm hoping to be able to just simply email or something to that effect. But anyway. Okay, folks, I've jabbered enough here. Let's get into the fun. We've described how we chose what we did. Now, let's see the aftermath of the landing. I will tell you one problem I have with my rig here is if I was working on the screen on one side, it doesn't allow me to do things immediately on there, and I think that's why the reverse thrust was not available. So, no excuses. That's why we went off the end of the runway. All right, so now let's take a look at this and see how we did with the abrupt landing. You can kind of see how we worked our way back. Basically what I did is wherever we were, I turned back direct to GIG, Gipper, okay, knowing South Bend is just south of it. Once I had South Bend in sight, then you could see me drifting for the runway, knew I was way too high, went out, did an elongated re-entry, trying to slow down, lose some altitude to get in. That's what you're seeing here, okay? So let's look at the landing. 477 feet a minute. That's not really all that bad. Hang on a second. Divert. I don't think I'm able to do this because I don't. Okay. No, I can't do this. Okay. All right, well, we'll just do this and this. All right, let's see if I can put the divert in. I could not. Hopefully with the new system, it's a little easier. So anyway, so 2.5 Gs, we thumped it. I knew that. We were fast and thumped it. However, I wanted to make sure I used as much of the runway as possible. That's why we made it hit the runway where we did before the landing zone. That gives us the whole runway to try to get this beastie to stop. Okay. And since it wasn't scheduled, we're not getting a lot of information on it. 477, 146 knots. We had a pitch 6, so not bad. So let's get rid of Sim Toolkit. Get this jetway away. All right, so let's see if we can replay this landing to see just how horrible it was. Should be able to. Setting sound so it's not too overpowered. still overpowered. I think that's okay. Folks, let me get some music up here and then we'll start wrapping this up fully. But I do want to thank you all for being a part of Flying with Mike, and look forward to tomorrow's flight. We'll get into that here once we get back on the ground. Let's see how bad I did. Actually, that wasn't that bad of a landing. Like I said, I couldn't go into reverse because I had clicked on the other screen. That's my, no excuses, but that's what happened. That actually was not all that bad. Let's take a look. I need to go back further, sorry folks. Yes, sir. Okay, I see what they're getting at. Okay. A nice little bounce. But you know what? That's not bad for what happened. Engine fire, flap issues. I mean, folks, this is a pretty good emergency right here. Hate to break it to you, firefighters that might be out there watching this, that's a pretty good emergency that I had here to deal with. So I'm going to say that was pretty good. Unfortunately, I don't have the Melvin Leroy seats set up here, so you can watch it from the wings. But I was fast. That is definitely a given. But you know what? Again, we made it. There goes the fire trucks after me. Let's try it this way. Actually, that has me on the landing zone. So, on the aiming point. Oh well, folks, that was yet a great run. Albeit, I think we went, 75 miles? Alright, let's see how the tower shows it here. Uh-oh. Oh, we're not going to get to see it, folks. The tower took it from us. All right. Well, folks, welcome to not our destination for the day. We are in South Bend, Indiana. You know what? I think I will pick up this flight next week. And we will continue it from South Bend. You figure, theoretically, it's going to take them about that long to swap the engine. All right, before we get to see the other boo-boo, let's just do, oh, look at that teleportation. It works every time, folks. All right, get the jetway out here. All right, and folks, if you're curious how to get the air stair to lower on the FlyJSims, shift F1. Hold the 2 down, it'll come down. All right, folks. Well, again, sorry this got cut short. I was really hoping and looking forward to that Rivers approach in DC. But you know what? Sometimes it's just not your day to fly. And this must have been. Engine fire in number 1. We did get it put out finally successfully. Flap failure as well. The outer flaps here, and right here failed. So we only had the inboards. So yeah, folks, welcome to flying sometimes when you get the failures turned on. That was fun. Hope you all enjoyed it. Folks, we'll catch you tomorrow, tomorrow's flight. Hang on. I'm not prepared. Oh, that was not what I wanted. Tomorrow, where am I here? Oh, we're going to be in Belgium, taking an aircraft down to Barcelona. Hope to see you then, folks. Hey, you know what? So long as you land with the wheels on the ground, you've done a good deed. What they always taught me in flight training, folks. No matter how bad the landing is, so long as you end up with the wheels on the ground, preferably at the airport you're going to, but at an airport, you've done your job. So, folks, God bless you all. We'll see you tomorrow. We will fly from from Liege in Belgium down to Barcelona. Hopefully, the engines will stay intact. We'll see you then. God bless.